What to do when you feel maxed out, but you're still not as successful as you want to be. You're in that phase where you're doing pretty well. We talked about Andy. This is somebody who's probably been in business for 5+ years.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They've got a little bit of, they've got a little bit of experience underneath their belt. They've been doing this and they feel, again, like they should be a little bit further along or more successful than they are now.
Yeah.
They're like, I've been doing this for long enough. Why am I still not to the echelon that I feel like I should be? I do feel like as entrepreneurs, right, as anybody that opens up their own business, this is kind of a chronic illness that we have where we never feel like we are fully reaching our potential. And that's fine. It's a good thing. It's what drives us forward. It's what probably made us start our gyms even in the first place.
Welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs podcast. My name is Scott Carpenter. I am a personal trainer turned multiple gym owner and investor who's already been through the rock bottom and near bankruptcy in the fitness business. But I've been lucky enough to come out the other side and have turned the profits of my fitness business into indestructible wealth. I'll be sharing the no bullshit strategies, tactics, and advice to win big in business and in life. So if you're a gym owner, a personal trainer, or an online coach who wants to make multiple six figures in take-home profit and have the freedom with your time to actually enjoy it, subscribe now to this podcast. This is the show for you. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Scott Carpenter, with co-host Andy Boymilla. Today, we're going to talk about what to do when you feel maxed out, but you're still not as successful as you want to be. And you're not quite, you're in that phase where you're doing pretty well. We talked about Andy. This is somebody who's probably been in business for 5+ years.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They've got a little bit of, they've got a little bit of experience underneath their belt. They've been doing this and they feel, again, like that they should be a little bit further along or more successful than they are now. Yeah. They're like, I've been doing this for long enough. Why am I still not to the echelon that I feel like I should be?
Yeah. It's that unsettled kind of feeling where you know you're capable of more.
Yep.
You're just not sure how to realize your full potential. And that's a blessing and a curse for anybody who feels that way.
Absolutely. Right? I do feel like as entrepreneurs, right, as anybody that opens up their own business, this is kind of a chronic illness that we have where we never feel like we are fully reaching our potential. And that's fine. It's a good thing. It's what drives us forward. It's what probably made us start our gyms even in the first place. But now that you're at this point where you've been doing this long enough and you feel like you've got kind of your footing underneath you and you know what you're doing. And yeah, some months may be better than other months and you may still hit some downturns, but you're like, nah, I know how to pull myself out of this, right? Like, it's like, okay, now what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Like what tweaks can I make to my business, or is it maxed out? And what do I do with my time next? Because believe me, I know that every single time my business reaches a certain point and it's actually doing very, very well, I have a habit of sticking my hand where it doesn't belong and then usually breaking something, which is not good either.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And a lot of us, if you feel this way, you're always going to, it's kind of back to the, if you've ever read the book, The Gap in the Gain, right? Yep. It's a lot of us are never going to be satisfied because we always feel we should be further along. And, even if where you're at right now, 5 years ago, you would kill to be where you're at right now. Right now, you're
absolutely.
Like, right? We always had this. We're like, 5 years ago, I'd be killed to be sitting where I am today, making the money, doing the things I'm doing. But now that I'm here, man, like I really want to be over there.
Yep. And the grass is always greener on the other side.
Always. And it's a double-edged sword, like we talked about. So it's good to want to aspire and to grow and to realize your potential. But we also have to measure our progress, not by looking at where we are and looking at where we want to be in that gap, because that will always change. Once you get to that new destination, you will be there, and then you want to get to the next one. It's like chasing the horizon. You're never going to get to the horizon. It moves as you move. And so one important thing to realize is just looking backwards, measure your progress from where you were before.
Yep.
Right? Where you started, where you were a few years ago to where you are now, because there's significant progress. And you have to remind yourself of that.
Absolutely.
But you take the other side where I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to move on and keep realizing my potential. Yeah, that's hard because we can feel stuck and we can feel burnt out.
Yeah. which is the worst, right? When you have such passion for something, but you're like, I've been doing this for so long, I feel like I should be further along. There is this sense of like just exhaustion, just overwhelming exhaustion that happens. Mm-hmm. And we equate it to burnout. I just wanted to use a different word, right? And you're like, okay, so what happens now? Am I burnt out because I'm coaching too much? Am I burnt out because I just feel like I should be further along? And these are all questions that you have to ask yourself and answer for yourself. Nobody can answer these things for you when it comes to you personally. But, if you are coaching too much, okay, if that's the problem, how do you fix that? Does that take you to the next level and free up your time to allow you to do something else? Or are there other tweaks in your business that you can make to get a little bit more out of it? Right? There's this analogy. I think it's in a Mike Michalowicz book. It might be Profit First, actually, where he talks about in the very beginning of the book, he goes, when you have a tube of toothpaste, and instead of just getting a new tube of toothpaste, you squeeze every last bit of toothpaste out of that tube before going to get a new one. It's like, okay, if you feel like you've been doing well enough for the last couple of years in your business, are there other tweaks that you can make that will help progress the business a little bit further along, that will move it to the next level, right? Like if your classes are full, right? If you're a group class model and your classes are full, like for the most part, like 80% capacity, do you raise rates, right? Or do you offer a low, mid, and high ticket option? And these are all different things that you can do. And there is no right or wrong answer. It's all going to depend on you, right? It's all going to depend on you and your business. Maybe you're a PT gym and you look at all your coaches and most of their rosters are full. Okay, what do we do now? Do we hire another PT? That's an option. Of course, there's downsides to everything. Do we raise rates? Is that even possible in our demographic and our location? Do we introduce something different like semi-private or overlapping PT? And these, again, are all options, and there's no right or wrong answer. And these are the things you need to sit down and ask yourself and take a look at when it comes down to, I'm doing pretty well, but I think I can do a little bit better.
Yeah.
Are there little tweaks that you can make in your business, little levers that we can pull? And honestly, these are some of the things that we do when we work with gym owners and mentor them, right? We sit down, we analyze their business, we take a look at them, we figure out what are some levers that we can pull or knobs that we can turn, and maybe a better analogy, right? To take it from an 8 to a 10.
Yeah. And it is very unique, right? You'll hear a lot of people who do business coaching or whatever, and they have like one thing.
Right.
And that's the solution to everything. This is the best thing on the planet. And that's just not the case.
No.
Right? Different models, different tactics, different strategies will work or not, right? But it depends on you, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you want to do, what you don't want to do,
right?
The size of your facility, your market, your competitors, right? What you're gifted at or your team is versus not. There are so many different things that you can do. But if you're at this point where you're doing okay, but you're just like, shit, I'm just not, I'd like to be making a lot more. In your gym first, what we look for is what's the least amount of change that we can make that will have the most amount of impact. Right. And if you're doing all right, yeah, like if you're profiting 50 to 150K in your gym, but you're stuck, you're stale, you're reaching market equilibrium where your churn is equal to your acquisition. Yeah, we can take a look to see if there's better things we can do in acquisition. We can take a look at your client journey and check churn. There's always minor, but those are minor improvements that can move the needle a lot.
They can.
And then, yeah, sometimes we just need to bolt on another offer. There are different types of clients out there. Some people, they don't just want the workouts. They need a plan for the 165 hours a week that they're not in your gym. Right?
And that's where high ticket comes in.
That's where high ticket comes in. And a lot of people try to do nutrition coaching, but it's too low priced. It doesn't work. Nobody wants it. It's not sexy. It's too hard to scale. Yeah, because you're just going about it the wrong way, right? And that's what we look for is what's the easiest way to make significant changes to your bottom line. And the good news is if you're between that 50 and 150K profit, and you've been in business for 4 or 5 years plus, you've done the hard work in getting this thing up and stabilized and profitable. And
that is the hard work because most gyms don't even get there.
Yes, that is the hard work. So here's the good news, guys. If that's you, really, we just need to figure out what are the 1, 2, 3 little tweaks that we can do to just make a ton of extra profit.
Mm-hmm.
And that the work in doing that is nothing compared to the work that you've already put in.
Right.
It's just working smarter and taking into consideration your gym, you, your team, your market, everything. It's not too difficult once you've done the hard work to like, okay, cool, let's work smarter now. How do we work smarter and get more out of this thing?
Exactly. And then there's the step of cool, like I've what's the expression? I've squeezed as much blood out of the stone as possible. Mm-hmm. Right? Like the gym is at its fullest capacity. Like there's, again, some months might be slightly better than others, but overall we're trending and we're pretty stable and there's not much more we can do, right? We've got a high ticket, we've got a low, mid, and high. We've got a couple of different services. We've got, everyone's full. There's not much else we can squeeze out of this thing, right? Our length of membership is good. What's next? And that's a big, important question too.
Yes, absolutely. Because you're right. Like there's only so much you're going to make out of one location, realistically. Right. There are market forces that exist. You can't keep growing infinitely. And at a certain point,
just the size of your location is going to determine that as well. Like there's just so much, you can't grow past the actual footprint of your facility. Could you move? Sure. Maybe that is the next move. Maybe it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Taylor, right?
Yep.
Taylor, he's been a client forever. He's got a place in Michigan. His town's only 2,500 people.
I know. He does so good for such a small population.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. So he's been a client with us forever. And then he also helps out other gym owners that we work with. Right.
Yep. One of our coaches.
He's phenomenal. Taylor, shout out to Taylor Hutchison. Like what an amazing dude. And he's got 2,500 people in a small town. He brings in like, I don't know what his record is, but it's pretty close to 40. But on average, I think it's, like mid 30s for 2,500 people in town. Right. That's ridiculous, right? That's pretty awesome. But that's only going to get so high, guys. There's 2,500 people there. And so you've got to determine like, how is it you want to grow beyond that? Because a lot of us get frustrated. Our gym's your gym could be kind of maxed in a way, right? We're like, you're not really going to squeeze much out of this. Like Andy was saying, then you got to figure out what's next for you. Yep. And because some of us are good. Hey, I got this thing. I can run this business in 10 to 15 hours a week. I get to pop in. I'm like the mayor. I get to shake hands, kiss babies. Not much to worry about. And I'm making great money. I'm profiting great. That's awesome. And if you're happy there, hell yeah, man, you got it made.
Good for you.
Good for you. Some of us, though, are like, man, I just know I can do more.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily because you want the Lamborghini necessarily. It's because you're compelled to live up to your potential.
Right.
And you feel that you want to grow and realize your potential. You just don't know how and what your next thing is.
And you hate feeling bored.
Yes. Yes. If you can't tell, that's us too. Andy and I are like this to a T. And that's just who we are. And there's nothing wrong with that. And what you got to figure out is what's next. And this is our favorite problem to help other people solve and to guide them along with it. And Andy, you're scratching that itch in a lot of different ways, right?
Yep.
You're doing real estate. You have multifamily real estate. You're growing in different ways beyond your gym. And for some of you guys, you're like, hey, I want to do multiple locations.
Great.
I've done that, right? There are some extremely serious, some people just do it because that's the only route that they know then to answer the what's next thing, and more is better. Well, I will tell you what, if you're thinking about multiple locations, you got to think about it hard, because I've done it and it's worked out very well, but it's also worked out horrendously at the same time. There's a lot that can go wrong. We do not have the most scalable businesses in the world. No matter, it's just a weakness of micro gyms. At the end of the day, they rely, I don't care how good your systems and your operations are, we are so heavily dependent on staff and having good people. And that is a vulnerability, because if you have one location, you got it where, hey, you're working 5-10 hours a weekend, you're going to start up another one. You have to look at the worst case scenario. you could lose your key man in your first location and your second location. Ask me if that's happened to me. And you can take this awesome lifestyle where you're making great profit and you have limited time into it, and you can blow it the hell up very quickly to where you're working 50 plus hours a week and both locations are not cash flowing, or cash flowing a lot less than your single location.
Right. Now, this isn't to deter anybody that wants to open up multiple locations.
Nope.
It's just things to consider. On the same end, maybe you want to get into real estate next. You're happy with your one location, right? And then you go and you start looking at some real estate and you purchase your first one and you plan on using it as a rental income and, get a tenant in there. And then all of a sudden that tenant is a nightmare and they're calling you every day because something is going wrong. And then you're like, ugh. And then finally they stop paying rent. And then you're like, oh, great. Let's start the eviction process, which takes 1 to 2 years and up to hundreds of thousands of dollars to complete. And
depending on what state you're in, other states
depending upon what state you're in. Right? I am so fortunate, and I'm just smiling while I say this for you guys listening on the podcast, that I happen to live in Massachusetts, which is a very tenant-friendly state. And so as a landlord, I have almost no power, and it is quite frustrating. But that's the path that I chose, right? Because that's what I wanted to do. And again, I'm not saying these things to dissuade anybody from going into real estate. It's just trying to figure out, much like we talked about turning the little knobs in your business for like your specific situation to get a little bit more out of it. What you do next has to do with you and your strengths and what you want more so than anything else. There is no right or wrong answer to any of this.
Yep. And that's it. This is the fun thing, because you can do multiple locations. With what we teach and the high ticket stuff, that translates very well to online. We've helped a lot of gym owners develop really profitable online coaching companies and work with their avatar and bring in a ton of extra money on that one. Some of them, which then originally sold their gym and just did the online thing. You can, and no matter what, you need to learn the high level CEO skills, the high level CFO skills. You need to learn how to manage your money, how to avoid paying the IRS, overpaying the IRS. You need to learn that. You can't just abdicate that to your CPA. They will miss so much, it's not even funny. So you need to learn that. You can make more money just by being smart with your money, learning how to invest it, which is, Andy, you and I have both done that.
Right. My money makes little money babies.
Absolutely. And guys, you don't need to make 300 grand a year to have a multi 7-figure net worth. If you know what you're doing on the tax end, on the investing end, it doesn't take long to accumulate 7 figures in net worth.
It does not.
Does it? And so, and some of you might want to get into something completely different. Hey, I want to sell the gym, or I want to keep the gym, work 5 to 10 hours on it, and I want to pursue a career in something different.
Right. You may want to then go into a full-time job, go back into corporate America, or purchase other businesses that are not fitness related. That's an option too. Right. There's so many. You could be like, I want to trade stocks all day long. Cool. Like if that's what you're passionate about, or that's what drives you, and there's a way to make money on it, then absolutely. Yeah. But again, there's no easy button here, guys. There's no right or wrong answer. And we're not going to sit here and tell you real estate is the best option, because for some of you, it's not going to be. And some of you want nothing to do with it. Great. There are other options.
Yeah. And that's what's fun, because with a lot of these guys, our businesses are a means to an end. Right. And at the end of the day, these businesses should be set up and run to serve you as the business owner in your life. And quite often we end up with these businesses running our lives. We're like, you live to help to have the business survive.
Right. You bought yourself a job and you are struggling to make the gym survive so that you survive. When in fact, the gym is the thing that should be supporting you and should be allowing you to live the life you want, not the other way around.
Yes. And guys, easier said than done.
100%.
Andy and I have struggled with this for years until we've made it happen. Right. Yep. And a lot of time, a lot of mistakes. We both invested in a lot of coaching and mentorship and read 1 billion books and you name it. And so don't go this stuff alone. But if any of this is like, oh, that kind of resonates with me, that's speaking to me, right? Like, yeah, I need to do that. Yeah, I've just been in the status quo and kind of been unsatisfied, but unsure of what to do or where to go about it. And I need somebody else to look at this business objectively in my life and where I want to go, and be able to point out 1 or 2 things that I could change that could have a big big net effect on my life, my family's life.
If that is you, if you're sitting there being like, I feel kind of stuck, I don't know what to do next, let's schedule a call. You and I, we'll sit down, we'll dive into your business. We'll take a look at all the numbers. We'll take a look at basically your business in a nice deep dive. And I'll give you a third-party objective opinion on some things, 2, 3, maybe even up to 5 little action items, little plan that you can do to improve your business. And I will do that for nothing. Just shoot me an email, andrew@theprofitlifestyle.com. Follow me over on Instagram or reach out to me. It's at @aboymiller, which is my last name. We'll make sure that our guy puts that in the show notes. Shoot me a message over on Facebook, right? Shoot me a DM. I'd love to hop on a call and do a nice little business deep dive and create a plan with you on, 3 to 5 things that you can do to move your business forward, or 3 to 5 options on what to do next should your business be exactly where it should be.
Yeah. And guys, this is all free. We do this stuff for free. And why do we do it for free? Well, because when we go over all that stuff, some of you are going to want some help with it. Right. Period. And you're like, hey, could we do some one-on-one coaching to do this? Or, hey, I've a high ticket launch. I've heard of it and it looks like it bolts in very well. Like, could I join that and learn and do that? Great. Right. So we do that because there's a fraction of you who are going to want help to get there and get there faster. Awesome. Some of you are not going to want to do that, and that's okay. Right?
Totally cool. No pressure.
That's okay. And what we want is we want to hear from you in 3, 6, 9, 12 months and tell us how you're doing on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And hopefully it's been better and you've made progress. And that's really what this is about, right? Like, we are here to just simply help you guys. We want to just help. Right. And there are some of you that will want to kind of come on and work with us, and that's fine. And even those of you guys that are hesitant because maybe you've done mentorship or coaching before and it hasn't worked out.
Yes.
We'll even do a trial, right? Like, at the end of the day, let us put our money where our mouth is. Like, we'll do 2 weeks with you guys for a very low entry fee, just so that you guys can see that we are here to help. We know what we're doing. Let us put our money where our mouth is. But even before that, I'm happy to just give some free advice on you personally. We do these podcasts so that we can talk about specific instances that some of you guys might be going through. But at the same point, everyone is different and everyone's situation is slightly unique. And while what we talk about might resonate, it might not be the exact answer that you need. And so let me help you with that. And let's see if we can find that specific answer for you so that it works for you and your business.
So just don't be shy about this stuff, guys. And if it's stuff that you're like, hey, my business is going great, everything's going great, I just don't know what's next. I want to explore what multiple locations looks like in the pitfalls so I don't fall into them, right? And you need to chat about that. Great. For some of you, it's just like, I have no idea what I'm doing in terms of paying less to the IRS or how to invest the money.
Oh, I thought you were just going to stop there and be like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like, sometimes I still feel like that.
Oh, yeah. No, we all get that. 1,000%. And that's why we all need an objective third party to take a look at things. We're so in our own heads and wrapped up, and we lose perspective on our own businesses and in our own lives, period.
And our businesses are emotional. They're our babies, right? We always want to see the best in them. Sometimes it just takes a third party to look at it and go, yeah, maybe it's not doing as well as you thought it was, or maybe it's doing better than you think it is.
Yes. Both of those things
both are options. Both happen. I've had conversations with gym owners that go both ways. And that's the fun part about this. And that's why I love doing this. But if you guys want any help, if you want to just dive into your business and get a third party objective view on it and figure out what, 3 to 5 next steps that you guys could do to improve it, like I said, shoot me an email. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Do all the things you do with podcasts, like, share, subscribe. And then hopefully we'll see you in Scottsdale. If not, like I said, reach out to me. Would love to just chat and see how I can help.
Thanks, guys. Listen, if you're stuck and could use some advice in your business, whether you're just starting out, a veteran in the business, or expanding online or into multiple locations, you can hop on a free call with us to pick our brains at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. You can see that in the show notes. That is with numbers. Chances are we'll be able to help you get some clarity on what you need to do specifically in your business to get to the next level. It's not a sales call. We'll connect you with the right resources to help you solve your problems. But if you want to learn more about working with us, that's cool too. We can share that information should you want it. So book your call now to get out of the rat race before your week consumes you, which is easy to do at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. That's with the number 1 on the number 1 call. You can find this in the show notes. See you soon.